I feel like I've been on this purpose, calling path for a long time, trying to carve my own way. And so I was really honored that you had asked me. But sometimes I think, have I reached that point? Have I found my purpose? I seem to be in a perpetual quest for it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's because I'm a person that likes to take a meandering path. I like getting there, and be it, when I'm traveling or when I'm studying or what the case, I don't always take the direct path. So when you asked me to do this, I thought, this is fantastic because there's so many books out there, but for people to come and sit in a room and just hear how other people are either finding their purpose or people like me that are still on a quest, even though, don't get me wrong, I'm down that path. Mm-hmm. But there's, how long am I going to live? My purpose might change. Yeah. And it has changed along the route. And then, of course, there's people in the room that, are walking and talking and breathing their purpose. And then, of course, throw in, you have so much potential. How many times have you heard that? Yeah. That just puts the pressure on more because you're now not only motivated to find your purpose, but you have all this potential you don't want to waste in your lifetime, right? Yeah. So I know I've always felt that. I now look at those people as just stumbling blocks for the path of purpose. Right. They mean well, but they can really throw you off your path if you're in a vulnerable state or, you haven't opened the right door yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm very conscious. I don't say to people, you have so much potential, because I know what it feels like to be the recipient of that big potential ball. Yeah. And it's not fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a medicine ball and it's covered with axle grease or something.
And some spikes in there too.
Yeah. Get stuck. Now what do I do?
A lot of trial and error, for sure. I mean, because the path I started on and the one I'm on are certainly different. But what sort of makes me realize that I'm on the right path is really how much I love doing it. Mm-hmm. So my path is in the wine world, and it's just a great vehicle for, exploring a lot of different elements that I like to do. Mm-hmm. And, I really thought it was going to be a short stint, and it's turned out to be just a really good way to find my purpose and, to have a good time along the way. That's a really important part of it. You're on your purpose path if you're enjoying it. Yeah. You're getting invigorated and you want to do more of it. Yeah. Right? Because I studied economics. I know what not being on my path feels like. Right? And
not that there's anything wrong with economics.
Economics is great, but it wasn't the right path for me. Yeah. And I had to get a degree under my belt before I realized that. Yeah. So I'm one of these people. I'm very clear on what it's not. I wanted people to have to fill their glass with the right wine, which might seem like a little thing. I just want people to explore and realize you don't have to settle. You don't even have to settle for the little things, be it a glass of wine or whatever the case may be. And just knowing that feeling, knowing the feeling when it's the right fit compared to when it's the wrong fit. Mm-hmm. And I always equate it to, being a salmon, going up the current. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting when you're on a path that everyone thinks is a good one for you, but you just know that your life energy is being zapped away. You don't really have any desire to keep building on that information. That's a really good sign you're not on the right path. Whereas when you're on the right one, I'll use wine as an example. You just keep wanting to study and explore and go into different shops and try different things. It's easy. What maybe invigorates me about wine is, and I'll go into more detail on the day, but there's so many avenues with wine. And just being a person that loves to travel, and I didn't actually know I had that love for traveling until after my economics degree. Mm-hmm. But then I was fortunate to strap the backpack on, go and see. I was such a natural at going to different countries and cultures. And then the beauty of wine now is, I say, just by popping the cork, I basically traveled to a different country. At least you might not, but I do.
Yeah.
And that gives me my buzz, my rush. I'm not even talking about the alcohol and the wine. I'm just talking about the excitement. I know it doesn't seem like a natural match, wine and economics, and it's a bit of a stretch for sure. But economics taught me to look at the world in one way, and the world of wine, I look at it in a different way. Yeah. And a way I like better. It's a bit more natural, earthy. That's the kind of person I am. Feels like sometimes, but as I walk down this path, I'm realizing actually I do have the bookends.
Yeah.
And it's a fun path. But it's certainly nice just to be around people and like yourself, and getting encouraged to put yourself even further down the path. Because I'm also a big hiker, so I like that metaphor of walking. Either sometimes it is uphill, up a mountain, but then once you reach that peak, that doesn't mean it's the end. It just means there's a nice view up there. Oh, and guess what? There's another peak beyond there you need to get to, and so so on.
It's a mountain without a top. Yeah,
and that's okay, because I would hate to think where I'm at in my timeline in my life right now that okay, I've reached the top. No, there's another top. Meaning is what it's all about, because otherwise it's just an empty feeling. And fortunately, I have veered off the path. It hasn't been all wine all the time. I've done other things besides that, which have been meaningful as well. And it's taught me, when I truly connect. And so, that's a big part of the purpose path. You have to feel that connection to what you're doing, and and I certainly do.
I think the beauty of all of this work is there's no right answer. Join us in January. And that is our first ever Day on Purpose conference here in Calgary, January 25th. A Day on Purpose is bringing together a fantastic community of speakers and presenters, people like you and me at various stages of uncovering their own purpose. It will be a day of stories and discovery that will work to make a very high level and at times hard to understand topic relatable and uncomplicated. You are brave enough to start the journey, and we'd love for you to join us. Thanks for listening.